Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial from Affinity Tutorials. Today we'll show you how to use the text to the artistic text tool and frame text tool in Affinity Designer. So I open the simple A4 for print and let's start with the artistic text tool. You can just click and start typing. Sport magazine, and I can go back to the move tool and resize the text. Now here on the right you will find the character and paragraph. If it's not appearing in your Affinity Designer workspace, you can always click View, Studio, and then find the character and paragraph and arrange it in your workspace. And from the character we can just pick the font family here. Once you hover you will have the preview, Arial, let's pick Anton, resize it and center it. More feature that you have, the size, you can do it manually or just pick the font size. Style, if it's regular, if you have fonts with different styles like bold, italic, from here, text color, and decoration, which means underline, double underline, or none, strike through, depends on your design. In our case, we will just keep it simple. Positioning and transform, you can transform the text, scale it, but make sure you don't stretch the font. So we don't want to stretch the font and make it look a bit weird. And when we'll have paragraphs, we'll have more options with the paragraphs. Alignment, leading, the space between the lines. And from the assets, we can pick from those 3 free stock photos, Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay, which is a really nice feature with Affinity. So you don't have to go and download and then place it. Just find the Unsplash. Let's see what we can find under Sport. Okay, and just click and drag the image. Resize it. Control Z. Hold the Shift. Right click, and we can arrange our layers. We want the image to be behind the text. Move to back. There it is, and maybe we can change it to white. Need to keep the contrast. No, the orange was good. Okay, now we want to make sure we're not getting too close to the edges. So we can click View and add our margins. Show margins. So that can be a bit bigger, or maybe resize it in the margin size. And the text will be here inside the margins. That means if you need a frame, just use the frame text tool and we can click and drag. Now, obviously, if it's an original design, I mean, if it's a real project, you get the content and you just copy it, or right-click, insert filler text. Some dummy text that we have here. Go back to the move tool, and we can resize, change the color. Now make sure when you resize that you don't have any text missing. If you resize the frame, see we have a lot of text. Just delete some of it or resize and add. Control or Command A. And copy our text. With a paragraph, I can always align it to the right if I want. center it. It will be much nicer on the right. And always make sure your text is readable. So if it's white, we'll place one here and one here. So we have the character and paragraph, space between them, lines, you can move them, control the leading, justification, bullets and numbering. In this case, we don't really need that. And you have a shortcut also at the top. So when you click, you get bold, italic, different styles, alignment for the paragraph and everything. I was thinking maybe to add another layer, so another shape, be dark, black, and here in the layers panel you can lower the opacity. So I just made sure it's behind the sport magazine, frame text and frame text, 2 frames, and lower the opacity, which give it a nicer contrast. Okay, let's copy the frame with Alt. Just copy it, align, and to be able to edit, just double click. You can type something else. Type what you need. CrossFit Games. Keep it together and use the shortcut now. Bigger and make sure it's visible. And on the character, now Arial will have more options. So click bold. Okay, and that's the text. Quite simple. You'll have fonts. You can always find more fonts with Affinity packs in their website, or go to Google Fonts. They're free. You can download them and install, and they will be automatically here on your Affinity Designer, also Affinity Photo and Publisher. Thank you for watching. If you like our channel, please subscribe and share it with friends. And every week we'll have new videos with basic Affinity. Later on we'll add designs. And thanks again.